Well, good morning and welcome to another edition of VisionCast Network, where collaboration and technology combine in service to humanity. Today's special guest is Michelle Butler. Michelle is a published author. She is a speaker and a grief coach and the author of two books. Please don't say that SHIT and Befriending My Grief Monster. So welcome, Michelle. It's great to see you again. How are you?
Thank you, Christian. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Happy, what is it, Tuesday? Happy Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah.
So, tell us, please, about please don't say that SHIT and befriending the grief monster, how it all came about, and why it is that you do this important work.
Okay. Well, first of all, my daughter passed away 5.5 years ago, and I since then have been on quite the journey. Um, it's been I found out I had PTSD. I suffer from CPTSD. I have suicidal tendencies and all sorts of things that I've been dealing with lately that weren't present before she passed.
Yes.
Um, so uh, in desperation, I started doing some research and found ketamine therapy, which helped my brain heal to the point where I could even put two words together again. So um, obviously, I want to bring a little bit of awareness to the therapies that are involved in my healing as well, because they're really important in how I came to be able to heal enough to share my story, number one, and to be able to put it out there for other people so that they can hopefully heal from it as well. But so once I started the ketamine therapy and really digging in, I realized how triggered I was by things that people say and
Mhm.
how much that contributed to my isolation and my suicidal tendencies, ironically. And so I feel like it's really important that the world knows how to speak to people who are grieving. Um, and it's not just grief from someone passing away or the loss of a person. You can grieve your old life, you can grieve your own brain, you could grieve your car that you lost. You can, grieve after a car accident. There's so many things in life that bring about grief. So it's important to realize that also. You don't just have to lose someone to have these feelings and to feel desperate for, I think it was really honestly joy and enjoyment of life again that I was missing the most. I miss my daughter, but I
Yes.
missed my old self that could be happy. So please don't say that. And it's SH*T if you're looking for it on Amazon. Um, which all of my work is published on Amazon. I also have a couple of journals that go along with please don't say that. And they are please do say that, and please say that too. Journaling, another huge part of my healing, right? So that's why I felt that those were important. But the book itself is designed to bridge the gap between people who are grieving and people who don't know what to say. So I have please don't say that, and I have 44 different things that have been said to me that really didn't help me at all. They made me angrier and more isolating. More, I didn't trust myself or what I might say to someone or do, God forbid. So, and then on the flip side, I give people ideas of what you can say that will really truly help someone heal and build a foundation for a better relationship for the two of you as well. So that was my idea there. And then, of course, the journals follow that, back that up. And then Befriending My Grief Monster, that's kind of my baby. I have to go back and read it, like honestly, right now, even every couple of months or every month, because I'm still triggered by things. Mother's Day just happened. And so I'm not perfect. I am still on my journey, but I'm figuring it out along the way and happy to share these things with other people that, you know, that need the help, that don't know where to go, which direction, what to do next. And, I thought of my grief initially as a tsunami hit. And all I could do was just hold my breath and just, keep on spinning. But I
Mm,
felt like I was underwater and I could never get to the surface. And I could never get that deep breath. I might get up for a second and just get a little, and then back down and just swirling again. So I think that a lot of people that I've talked to have also referred to their grief as, a tsunami or a hurricane or a tornado or one of God's bigger catastrophes in life.
something that's much more powerful than they perhaps have the agency at that moment to really deal with
Absolutely.
this. I'm so sorry for your loss of your precious daughter, Maddie.
Thank you.
Uh, it's a touchy subject, right? I mean, people desire to be helpful and kind, and they may not be conscious of really what it is that they're saying and why it is that they're saying it. And as a mother, I know parents don't get over. It's not something you can get over or get through. In my experience, we lost my brother when I was 30 years old, and so I saw what that did to my mother and father, and how difficult that really was. So, where do you think people are coming from in their attempts to be? I have to believe they're attempting to be kind and compassionate in some way, but they're just not aware. What do you notice around that?
So honestly, I think there's kind of a split. I think there's some people that really just don't know what to say and they are trying to be kind. And so they use the cliche things that people have always said, because it's it's easy to just pull something out of your repertoire like that.
Mhm.
I think also the other side of that is that some people are just really uncomfortable in other people's grief and they just want you to be quiet, so they say something to you know kind of cork you.
Yeah.
um
Help
but
themselves feel more comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. So it's really not about you, the grieving parent, as much as it is about, oh, I feel uncomfortable here, and whatever comes out of my mouth is an unskilled attempt to get me to a place of feeling more relaxed, calm, and peaceful. Is that what you're saying?
true, yes. Yeah, I do find that true to be true. So the other part of that is though that you know um as a grieving parent, um these things might be true, but we don't need to hear it. Okay. And so like, for example, she's in a better place. I
Mm,
understand she's in a better place, okay? But now she's in a better place, so let's keep that in perspective, right? I'm not. I'm in an uglier place. And
yeah,
this is no longer about Madison or where she is at or how I feel about where she's at. It's where I'm at. And
yeah,
so it's very invalidating for you to tell me, well, she's in a better place, so you should be happy. That doesn't make me, I mean, it makes me happy, but it doesn't make me happy.
sure. What
So,
what would you say would be more helpful? What would be more?
it's funny because uh, there's a lot of things, even just, can we just hang out? Do you want to talk about your child or your loved one or whoever it is? Or do you not want to talk about them? Do you want to be distracted? Do you want to watch a movie? Do you want to watch the videos of them and giggle? Really just checking in with them and seeing what would help them in the moment
Mm,
and opening up the door for whatever that is and being okay with whatever that is. You don't have to, as a supporter of a griever, you don't have to take this stuff home with you. You can leave it with the griever and it's probably a lot healthier if you do. But just to be there and listen, be an ear, be a support, be a hug, give them a hug. I mean, hugs are powerful. But there's so many and grab my book. I have 44 plus ideas for everybody that doesn't know what to say to someone who's grieving. The book is not it's more designed for people who aren't grieving than it is for people who are. But I get a great feedback from my grievers for please don't say that, um, because it's validating to them, and they get chuckles out of it too. Some of my responses are kind of comical. you
Mhm.
know I was angry, so yeah.
So, what might be the, in your estimation, one of the single most important things for people that know someone that's lost somebody significant or something significant that's in the grieving process? For that person, what do you think is one really super important thing to be aware of in interacting with this friend or spouse or whomever that's having this
So
challenge?
you're asking about the supporter.
Yes.
Okay. uh don't judge it. Don't judge it, because you're not in their shoes, and if you were, trust me, you have no idea. Listen, I can tell you this from experience because I used to judge suicidal ideation and tendencies, okay? And I thought that, it was selfish and weak. And so here I am with all of that. Be careful what you judge in life. You might just end up in that position, for the opposite perspective. But I just think you really can't judge any situation or any person, even if you have lost children. Please don't judge mine because mine's different than yours. you
Yes.
know
So don't judge, be more open-hearted,
be
kind,
graceful. Give
great,
grace.
great,
Yeah.
grateful, and graceful. Yes.
Both of them, yeah. Grateful too, yes. I mean, because we're all put here together for a reason, and we're all supposed to be learning lessons. And so, if you have been put in the very honorable position of helping someone grieve, then I just got goosebumps saying that. It really is an honorable position. It's something that shouldn't be taken lightly, because we're like a child, you know. We're just learning everything again, and blossoming again, and finding ourself again. And it can be a very beautiful experience if you really, if you work at it and you have the right support, you have the right tools and all of that stuff. So
Beautiful. So this is maybe a little bit of a sensitive question. Is it okay if I ask you a sensitive? Okay.
absolutely, sure.
So so what I heard you say is that it's an honor to be um, to be in this container of supporting grief and being in that presence of grief, and so that sounds like there is an implied gift. Am I hearing
Hmm.
that? And,
Sure.
and so I'm wondering what has been the biggest transformational gift that you've experienced in this process? If you care to share that or talk
I
about
do. Honestly, that's one of my favorite things to share, Christian. So thank you for asking that, because I may not have gone here.
that.
In I was in my life, my childhood was very dysfunctional, and I was brought up in abuse of many kinds. I then continued that through my teenage years and my 20s, and I ended up in an abusive relationship. And so basically, before I had Madison, I really had, I don't want to say zero self love, but very little self love. When I had Madison, she taught me the type of love that I was always deserving of. Okay. The type of love that comes from my creator.
Hmm.
Uh, so uh, in her life, I received that gift. Okay. But in her death, I received the gift of having to get to know myself, and
Hmm.
having to find love for myself. And because I did hit rock bottom, I I hated myself, to be honest. And even especially after losing her, like, she was all of my worth.
Yeah.
I was Maddie's mom, and that's how I related to life, and related to others and stuff like that. That's where my worth was. And so when I lost that, I had nothing. So in the gift in her death has been that I have had to find myself, and I happen to fall in love with myself along the way. So I think, My biggest message is that that's going to be a crucial step in healing, no matter if you're healing from grief or healing from anything, from past abuse or whatever. You've got to dig in and you've got to find yourself and just decide you're going to love yourself bigger and better than anyone else in the world.
Beautiful. Love it. So, what's the coolest thing you found out about Michelle?
She's very creative
Right?
and she likes to speak, and she's still a mom.
She's still a
She's
mom.
still, yeah, still a mom to many. In fact, I'm in Denver right now, and I live in Florida, but I'm in Denver visiting old friends. This is where I raised Madison, and all of her friends have come to see me, and I'm Mama B, and I'm cooking for everybody tonight. So, I feel very fulfilled and very grateful today, that I still have all of these beautiful children. They're not children anymore, but
Always be children, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
they'll always be my children.
Always be children. Beautiful. Well,
That's
thank you
good.
for spending some time with me today. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your openness and your tenderheartedness and your candidness. And so, Michelle, tell us all where we can find you and find your book. How do we get in touch with you?
Yeah, so I am on Facebook and I do workshops and coaching via Zoom also, but you can find me at Michelle C as in cat butler.com, michellebutler.com, or I am Michelle C. Butler also on Facebook. I also have Power Healing in Grief group on Facebook. So if you can find that, also that's a good place for you to find some support and find that community that you need for healing. It's really important.
Beautiful. And where can they find your books?
On Amazon, you can you can look through Michelle C. Butler on Amazon, or be sure to put the asterisk in the SH asterisk T word if you're trying to find that book on Amazon, or you can find it. It's probably looped in the series with Befriending My Grief Monster also. So, and the journals should be there as well. I'll
Beautiful.
be coming out, I'll be coming out with a new one soon. So keep
Okay, wait.
looking.
Do you have a working title yet that you'd care to share, or is that you want to pull back the curtain a little bit and tell us about the book?
I've been thinking about the power healing and grief because I've been doing that workshop, and I really am I do feel like it's power healing. I feel like, power walking, it gets you walking even faster.
Yep.
Power lifting, you're lifting even more. And so for me, power healing is really digging in and being intentional about your healing. So I'm headed in that direction, but I'm not 100%. But it is going to be that type of book where I'm digging in and we're going for it.
Beautiful. What I absolutely love about what I'm hearing in this discussion with you today is that you are walking the talk. You are living what it is that you're teaching. And you're taking these life experiences and you're putting them out in the world so that other people benefit from what you have the honor to grow through. So you're
Absolutely.
walking the talk. So right on.
Thank, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, Michelle. Well, thank you so much for spending some time. Enjoy Denver and take care. We'll see you soon.
All right, sweetie. Thank you.